Hi, it's Scott. ROCKFILE back with another podcast review for you. Going to talk about 2023's Saw X. Being a fairly, semi-big fan of the Saw movies, I'm surprised I didn't see this one in the theater, but whatever happened last summer, it just didn't happen. Then when it came out on an official release at the end of 2023, no Steelbook. Which Lionsgate, they're knocking it out of the park with Steelbooks, and the last couple of Saw movies got Steelbooks, so I kind of boycotted, didn't buy it, and was waiting for like a big sale, Black Friday, whatever, get it for $10 or whatever. Fast forward to a few months ago, and Walmart put up a 4K Lionsgate Steelbook slipcover, going to be really nice, coming out in July, and I'm like, well, what do you know? Good things come to those who wait. So I pre-ordered it, and it arrived the other day, and I finally watched it last night. I'll go ahead and cut to the chase. The 4K is great. It's already been out, the reviews. 5 out of 5 for video. It's a native 4K transfer and a great Dolby Atmos mix that really highlights some of the traps and such. The Steelbook is another wonderful slipcover edition from Lionsgate. All in all, this is a win. And I thought the movie was the best one since the first one. A lot of people have said that. I kind of doubted it when I started it, but it is. It feels like a real movie, not just a Saw movie, just not a movie put together for set pieces to watch people die in horrible ways. It is the most that Tobin Bell has ever been in one of these movies. He plays John Kramer, for those that don't know. I'm not going to get into major spoilers, but if you've seen the trailer, you know what it's about. It takes place between Saw 1 and Saw 2. He's been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he gets involved in a scheme to defraud him, to give him some hope and a cure. And, of course, you know what's going to happen to people who defraud the guy who's behind the Saw stuff. Anyway, that's what the movie is about, but it's a lot of Tobin Bell, and he's so great. I mean, what a treasure of an actor. He always puts 110%. He's great at playing bad guys and kind of weird guys and that kind of thing. And he's the quintessential, horror icon. He's pretty amazing and really good in this. I thought they did some good things with the story. Turns out that they actually were working on this before Spiral, the Chris Rock movie they put out a few years ago. This was actually in the works over 5 years ago. Back in 2018, they were talking about how to pull this movie off. And it got pushed because, when Chris Rock comes to the makers of Saw and says, I love your movies, I want to make one, and here's a script, they are, of course, going to jump on that and try and go with it since he had an opening in his schedule. And that pushed this movie back, which gave the writers and the producers more time to really work on it and hone it. And like I said, it feels like a real movie. I mean, yeah, it's a Saw movie for sure. It opens with a big Saw scene that turns out to be something in his head. But I thought it stays true to the character. It stays true to Amanda. She comes back. Shawnee Smith. This is also in the trailer. I'm not giving anything away, but that was a big deal. The biggest thing that some reviewers have said, and I will agree with, is that the two actors that play our main characters are significantly older than they were 20 years ago when they made Saw 1 and Saw 2. And so they look a little different. He kind of still fits. She, on the other hand, looks very different. She's much older. But I thought she acted like the character would act in that time. It explores some things with her character that we didn't really see in Saw 1, 2, and 3. She met her demise in 3, by the way, if you're not a big fan of the series. And then they brought some things back in 6, and now they've messed with time in a few of the movies and that kind of thing. But this kind of plays out as something that takes place between 1 and 2. Makes sense that it goes there, but I think they could have really said it at any time. To bring her back and to do what they did, they had to do that. But otherwise, this could have been something that came later in the series. But that's how much a big Saw mythology fan you are. The Halloween movies messed around with Michael Myers and the timelines and such. Anyway, I thought this was a fine Saw movie. The traps are intricate. The deaths are worthy. The people deserve it as usual. And Tobin Bell, he is in this movie almost from beginning to end. The producer said more than 2, probably more than 3 Saw movies of his. He's in the entire movie. It's about him. It's his story. And I think that's a great way to go. They do leave a thread open at the end. There could be more. I'm sure there will be. This one actually did well and got great critical reviews and has done quite well on home video, especially if 6-7 months after its main video release, it gets another video release, a double dip for a Steelbook. which I'm so glad I didn't buy the original 4K. Because it did. It got great reviews when it came out. It's a native 4K transfer with a great, very active Dolby Atmos soundtrack. I thought it was a really great soundtrack. It really immersed me in the movie. And I thought the video looked great. They do some things with tinting the picture, some filters and things like that. Some of the... a lot of the lights appear to be almost blown out. It's a style choice that kind of the early movies look like that too. So I respected that. And by the way, there's a boatload of extras, and they're all on the 4K. There is an hour and a half documentary, about an hour and 35 minutes, cut into different parts that goes all behind the scenes. You learn a whole lot of stuff. There is another 20, 25 minutes with the director and pre-visualization stuff. There are deleted scenes. There are a lot of extras. This is a full package deal. So high marks for it all around. This will now be number 2 on the watch list when it's time to watch a Saw movie for Halloween. Watch Saw 1, followed up with Saw X, and then maybe go to 2, 3, 4, or whatever. Saw X is really a good Saw movie. Not the best horror movie I've seen this year. That award still is being held by Late Night with the Devil. But as Saw movies go, this is one of the better ones. And I really enjoyed my time with Tobin Bell revisiting the character. I hope there's more. I'm looking forward to more. Check it out. And the new Walmart Steelbook is quite intense. So Saw X, the Steelbook, is available now. The Blu-ray and the regular 4K have been available for quite some time. Check it out if you're a fan of the Saw movies. Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts are on the way. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to a podcast. Have a great one.